Hello, my name's Edgar Colin Williams. This is a video going through the process of my project called AI Customize. In this video, I'll be showing the research, the development, the implementations, and also the improvements I've made throughout this project. In the beginning, I began the research phase. I started to look at all types of technology involving AR and different ways that it could be implemented. I started to look at companies such as IKEA and how they've implemented object placement to create an app that uses user input to decide what they want to buy and include in their living environment. I started to also branch out into other sources of software, such as 3D modeling, to see if I can create my own assets. The point of my project is to create an application that will allow users to customize their living environment. So you can see here that there's sketches and further research of different softwares. To begin, I started on Unity software to create different ways of creating a target platform. And for instance, here you can see an icon. Also, we worked on the UI on the canvas to be able to create that user interface and basically be able to navigate the application. I also worked on the scripting and the coding for the work, and here you can see a script that's controlling the placement icon. Well, finally, while everything was completed, it was time to initiate the build and be able to build it on an Android phone to start the application. Hello, this is my project, and essentially it's just customizing your living space with objects being spawned and instantiated in AR through different means. This is a custom indicator that I made. It scales vertically and horizontally. I've made certain conditions that certain objects can't spawn vertically while certain objects spawn horizontally. Made it so that you can't touch the screen because I had to see issues when touching through the screen. It starts spawning uncontrollably, so I made it only through spawning through certain buttons and unclick commands. For instance, if I spawn a chair, it will spawn wherever the indicator is. You can spawn multiple chairs and however you want to customize it. I also tried to incorporate the voice to it. But admittedly, it did come through complications and it doesn't spawn properly, and usually only one item. For instance, I'm going to try spawn a cat. No. Yeah. And I added some animations and movements to the cats. I mentioned before that certain objects can't spawn horizontally, so I'm trying to spawn the cat. Also added a feature of a TV, so wherever you are, as you spawn, you have a media player. Here is a clock that's been spawned to the wall, and I made it so that obviously has its own sound effects that's linked to the animations, but also it's captured in real time. So it's the real time that it is right now, and this is the clock is captured in real time. I wanted to include many improvements because throughout my project I noticed there was a lot of things that could have been improved on. For example, adding a database where user input would have been greatly enhanced. So instead of being stuck with the decisions of the application, the user would be able to decide which items they'd want through the database, and then the assets would have been procured that way. So a lot of improvements could have been made during that way as well. Thank you. This has been my project, and I've shown all the implementation and research that I've done, and I hope that you'd able to see the vision and the selling point I was going through.